This is Victor, the Cooler Master M0533 case that's packed with 17-year-old hardware. Today, we're going to take him apart, put modern equipment in him, and make him into an epic gaming PC that can handle anything you throw at it. When Victor came out, he was designed to be the ruler of the LAN party. He's got a built-in heavy-duty carry-on handle so that you could take him anywhere you want to go with ease, although he weighs a ton. So even with the handle moving him around, isn't that easy. We're going to take him apart, see what's inside, pack him full of hardware designed to handle today's games, and see what he can do. Oh man, that is a lot of ketchup and mustard wires in there. So he's rocking a passively cooled graphics card. What looks to be a decent CPU cooler. Some RAM. When I got this PC, he was not functional, so I'm not ruining some ancient hardware. We're going to take this all out. I'm going to see if I can get it working in another video. We'll start by pulling out this appears to be USB slots. And then let's see what he's packing in terms of graphics capability. He's rocking Gigabyte GVRX 13. We are going to get rid of this here power supply. Free up some room in the case. EPS 12 volt 550 watt switching power supply. Look at the dust on top of that. They did forget to put on the motherboard I/O shield when they first built this computer ages ago, but that's a mistake that will not be made again today. There's Victor's motherboard. He's rocking DDR2, 2 sticks of 1,024 megabytes each. Look at the dust on that. Now the single front fan is blocked by the 3.5 inch hard drive bay. I'm gonna have to remove that. Luckily, they made it easy and there's just 4 screws, 2 on the bottom and 2 in the case. We'll pop that right out. We may not even put it back in because we're gonna be doing a single NVMe drive. Now, unfortunately, there's not gonna be room for cable management because they've got this back part sealed off. And so we're gonna not have maybe the prettiest cable runs on this case, but that's okay because we won't be sitting inside of it. The good thing about this case is that Cooler Master did have some airflow in mind when they designed it. So he's got a single intake front fan at the front. They've got a single intake fan on the back, but they have open vents in the top, underneath the handle for ventilation. And they do have 2 side vents on the side panel. Our power supply will be mounted at the top of the fan down, so we'll kind of be counting on it a little bit for airflow as well. All right, now that we've got our case cleaned out, we're going to assemble our computer. The motherboard we're using today is an MSI B450 Gaming Plus Max, and it pays homage to the ketchup wiring that the old power supply used to have. Wanted to keep a little bit of that red in this build. So we're going to be putting the Ryzen 5 5600X in there. These are really great value CPU. We're going to put that in. And we're going to be using a Be Quiet Pure Rock 2 CPU cooler, so we won't need the Wraith cooler that the Ryzen 5 comes with. We'll just pop this up, line up our corners, lock. We're going to be using some Corsair TM30 thermal paste on this. And we've got our Be Quiet cooler. Now that we have our CPU and Be Quiet fan installed, we're going to be putting in our Corsair Vengeance 3600 megahertz RAM. Of course, got the red color to match our theme. Now we're working with Samsung 980 NVMe, 1 terabyte for our hard drive. So we'll just swap that right in. It's time to put our I/O shield in and install the motherboard. So now that we've got the brain of the computer installed, let's get the heart. The power supply went with a EVGA 750 G5 80 plus gold. Just a little bit of wiggle room to upgrade as well. For our graphics card, we're doing the EVGA RTX 3070. Rest in peace, EVGA. We'll miss your graphics cards, but we're going to put this in there. Pull out the old DVD player, and we're replacing our DVD player with an Asus E-Green to keep the look and functionality. Okay, now it's time for a little cable management. I'm going to hide most of the cables up in our 5 external 5.25 inch drive bays that this thing was packed with. I left the original hard drive enclosure out to give us more airflow. We've got Victor all put back together, and we're going to give him a test and see what he can do. Now, one of my favorite parts about this case is these giant power and reset buttons. They just beg you to push them. And they've got these little slide away covers to cover them. Now we're going to turn it on and see. And look at that. We have boot, so let's enter our setup. A really good tip is when you install RAM, make sure you go into your BIOS and enable your XMP profiles so that you can get the full frequency that you paid for. First off, we're going to run 3D Mark and just run a basic test. We're going to run Time Spy. We're hitting expectations in Time Spy. This setup averages 12,397 and we're sitting at 12,610. So slightly above average. So 1080p in Shadow of the Tomb Raider with VSync off, we got an average of 185 frames per second. So pretty good.